morning, everybody. This is C7, the HOA Homesteader. And today I'm going to be going into the hive and doing an inspection. I haven't done so since I had a state inspector come by and check out the hive for me. I believe on December the 6th. So, that's been a couple of months now. So it's time to get back in there and really start working the bees, seeing if they're healthy, seeing if they built any queen cells, seeing how the queen looks. Just take a overall good look at the hive. I also got some nukes that not nukes, but nuke boxes that I ordered so I can be prepared to do a split. The weather is getting warm here. We're gonna reach the 80s 3 or 4 days in a row. And it may go down a little bit, and then I think it's gonna start being at least in the 70s from here on out. So I need to really make sure that I'm ready to do a split or do whatever I have to do to, so my bees don't swarm on me and leave. So, and with that said, I'm gonna go get suited up and get my smoke going and get everything set up out there by the bees. And I'll see you guys when I get out there. Okay, I believe I got everything all set up, people. So I'm getting ready to go inside, give them a little smoke, and check this hive out. Let's see what we got. Come on, let's do it. Look at that. Capped honey over the winter. Not much of a winter down here in zone 10A, but first 3 frames practically full of honey. I had the inspector come out, like I said, December the 6th. And we put the queen excluder between my 2 deeps, because I was using 2 deeps for brood and everything, and supers on top of those. So I'm only halfway through, and I have reason to believe that queen, she's in the bottom. That's one of the things I'm really trying to find, which one of these she was in, so I can get ready. Most people say if I'm fortunate, there'll be brood and eggs and stuff in both, and I could do a walk-away split. But if this thing Okay, so by this time I'm on like the 10th frame inspecting it. Yeah, all the top box and all the frames was full of honey. Not all of it was capped. One end it was the light yellow cap, which was like the Brazilian pepper hull end. And I noticed as I went further to the other side, it was a darker looking honey. But yeah, all 10 frames had honey. And the day that we did the inspection together, we never found the queen, so I didn't know if she had stayed up in the top and went to the bottom. So now I know she is in that bottom box, and I'm trying to get prepared to put things back in place and go down into the next box. the bees are starting to become a little bit more aggressive. So before even going into the bottom box, I start hitting them with smoke. You can see them how many are already surrounding my head. And I will say this about my bees. The state inspector had them inspected to make sure that they are not Africanized bees, and they're not. They just aggressive. I have an aggressive queen, and from speaking to people in my local association, everybody's suggesting that I get a new queen. So that will be the next step. But no queens are really available right now until like another 2 or 3 more weeks. Okay, at this point is when I noticed I'm starting to be stung by bees. They have made their way inside of my hood. So I'm trying to see how many or deal with the 1 or 2 that I'm thinking and then is in there. But as you can see, right in front of my head, all those bees. And then now I know, like, hey, it's way more than one up in here. So what do I do next? So I knew I couldn't take my hoodie off. All them thousands that's there buzzing around my head would have got me. I probably would have. I don't even want to think what the outcome would have been if those many bees would have stung me right there in the backyard. So at this point, I think I dealt with them. So I'm going back to my inspection. You see me pull the queen excluder off, and I'm like, wait a minute. Now I'm like, nope. I put the queen excluder back on. I know that I got a problem inside my hood. So I go back for the top box, put it back in place, and I reach for the lid, put it back on, and then I go to seek shelter inside my screened-in patio. And typically when because my bees are aggressive, I usually have a couple hundred maybe follow me back to my patio. And then only about 10 that get inside of my patio. Now you only have to deal with 10. But this time, hundreds was able to make it into the patio. Okay, at this point, several minutes have passed me being out on the patio, and I realized I need to go get my smoker to try to deal with the ones on the patio. One more trip to go retrieve my camera. Make my way back to the patio again. Meantime, they're still inside my hood. Still dealing the ones that was still in there. Kind of chaotic, but oh well. And as you can see, I'm in a hospital gown, in a hospital bed, recovering from multiple bee stings. Yes, it did happen. Suicide here and all here. Some kind of way they breached my hood. I had a small little hole with a zipper. I was zipping and it felt like, oh, okay, I got it all the way. And it was not. It was a hole right down in here somewhere. And of course, as always, if you've been watching my channel, you know that my bees are aggressive. Did that, and I went in the house. I started getting really, really dizzy. Could hardly stand on my feet. And then I asked my wife to call 911. And this is the result. They want to do a 24-hour observation this time because I know how aggressive they are. But in the near future, when it's time to split that hive, because it was a ton of bees in there, and I wasn't expecting that top to be full of so much honey like it was. When the inspector came out, we set the hive up so it could be like a walk-away split, and we didn't know if the queen was up top or bottom, so I had to go in there to try to find out. But all 10 frames had honey, and almost all 10 was either full or more than 3/4 full. Some of it still looked like the Brazilian pepper honey with a real light beeswax, and some of it was real dark and rich looking. So also, one other thing, I got one more week of treatment to do, and then hopefully I'll have some nuke boxes I can start doing some splits with. I already prepared. I already got a full set of like 5-6 tier hive that sits on my patio. So even if it's time to actually do a walk away where I can just move a whole 10 frame box over and introduce a queen, I'm ready to do that also. Good morning, everybody. This is C7, the HOA Homesteader. And I must tell you, yesterday while inspecting my bees, I had some problems. I had a little hole in it between my jacket and my hood. Several bees were able to breach that hole and get inside, and they started stinging me when I was about halfway done with my inspection. I had just took the top box off. I was going into the bottom box when they started stinging me. But I still had to manage to close that hive back up, put my queen excluder back on, put the top back on, put the lid back on. Well, when I got home today, I just took a quick look out there and the lid is kind of cockeyed. I'm gonna wait till this evening till most of them are back inside and make sure that I secure my hive properly. I'm not gonna mess with them today. So, but this morning as of 10:30, I was released from the hospital. While in the hospital, they gave me 2 steroid shots, and that dealt with the bees. But the hospital staff, they really wasn't concerned with what happened with the bees as much as they were with my other medical conditions, which is diabetes, high blood pressure, and my kidneys. So the numbers weren't looking good in none of those areas. So they wanted to keep me there and do an observation for at least 23 hours, 24 hours. But with that said, this morning, everything was looking good. They released me at 10:30. So I'm back home feeling good and doing great. And hey, like I said in a text that I put out, there's all kind of hazards out here in this world. And taking care of bees, I know it ain't gonna be the thing for everybody, but I'm not afraid to get back out there and continue to try to learn how to do this better. So I'm just encouraging, if any other my fellow beginner beekeepers see this video, these things may happen. Make sure you don your equipment properly and, you know, deal with what it has. I will say this too. Make sure you got the atropine, the injector stuff for if you get stung. And you know, you may not be afraid, but you may have visitors or somebody in your, it's just another good medical thing to have in your area because you do have bees. Probably for any home, no matter where you're at, kids could be out playing in the backyard. So that's just something to consider for everybody, especially for my fellow beekeepers. But with that said, that's just a little update what's going on here with C7, the HOA Homesteader, and I'll see you guys around. Oh, by the way, when I was in the hospital, and I woke up this morning, I start yawning and stretching, and I heard my right knee go pop, but it was a good pop. I reached down and started touching my knee and banging on it. It wasn't tender or sore at all. It was like it popped back into a good location and everything is great. Those who know me know that I go skating. I got tickets to go to Houston this weekend and go to a skate-a-thon, to the Houston Roundup of skating. So I feel it good. I was able to get out of my bed, do a couple of squats. So out of this tragedy also was a blessing. I'm going to be on my wheels this weekend in Houston, starting tomorrow night, having a great time. And I just thought I'd share that with you guys. You have been with C7, the HOA Homesteader, and y'all have a blessed day.